How's it going? I took a break yesterday and just decided to post, obviously the vid for my American Gummy-Bear shop there online. Now I figured tonight, it's not gonna make some chicken sandwiches, some barbecue chicken sandwiches, pulled chicken, whatever you want to call it. Doing that in my trusty old Dutch oven, and it's that brand. Granted, definitely aim more for the ladies, but this thing cooks pretty freaking awesome, and I don't care. I'm happy with it. Got some chicken titties today for $5 for this pack. I can't complain about that. That's a pretty damn good price. I figure I'll put some of these into here because I'm not going to eat all this by myself. And the rest I'll package up into some other Ziplocs real quick. Go ahead and pull a couple of these big guys out. I really don't know how big these boobies are. But now that I'm looking, because I wasn't sure if it was like several smaller ones or, well, a few smaller ones. And it's looking like those are some good sized titties right there, huh? $5 for, it looks like 4 of them. Sweet. So that means I only need like a couple of these guys. Sorry, I'm sitting here thinking to myself going, do I want to put more in? So that way I got some leftovers, but I've also got some French fries that I'm going to fry up too. So I think I'm going to go ahead and bag up these other 2 boobies. These guys are some big boobies. What would you say? That would be like D size for a chicken? Chicken was blessed. Hopefully they didn't do anything to the chicken when it comes to hormones and shit, because I have a bit of an issue with that stuff. But the way things are going anymore financially, I think these days for a lot of people, you're kind of stuck dealing with whatever you can get. Generally though, most of the stuff that I get are actually from local farms, so, and all that they sell at our store. At our local stores. So that makes it a little bit cheaper and all that stuff. Those are usually the cheaper ones, and I pay attention to what they use or whatever. Most of the time it's salt water if they're going to be plumping up the chicken. But even then, this stuff, yeah, no. I haven't found any of that issue down here. Or at least in this camp. A lot of it is just making sure not dealing with the hormone bullshit. I guess I don't need these, thankfully. And let's go sweet baby race. Love this stuff. But I also have a couple other ingredients to go in there. I don't do a whole lot other than what with some of this. I'm going to throw in some, probably some onion powder, because I don't, well, I do have fresh onion. Okay. But that can hold here in a moment. So for starters, some people may find this strange. In fact, a lot of people will. But I will use dill relish. Obviously not just for burgers and such, but it brings out a bit of a tang. I don't put a whole ton of this stuff in. Seems weird, I know, but dill seems to have one of those flavors that mixes well when it comes to savory and like hearty type flavors. And then just got some of this today because I do like it on my fries. And that's some good old garlic aioli. Again, I don't put a whole bunch. Because this stuff can almost be a little overpowering if you don't do it right. I do just enough really to help get that garlic flavor in there. Yeah, cool, just in time for the oven to be warmed up. See, I don't put a whole lot of it in, because the rest of it's some good old Sweet Baby Ray. Good times. No, I'll put this in the oven for probably like 2-3 hours. Oh God, oh, that's gross. Damn. Okay, one more push. One more push. Oh. Okay, that was good. Oh. That was a good release. Nice out. Oh. And then, last but not least, some onion powder. And then I'll just let it slowly cook in. Because as it cooks and bubbles and does all that shit, that stuff it's gonna mix in, and then when I go to kind of like shred up the chicken and do all that stuff, it'll mix up even more. This shit should be smelling good here. Start smelling it here about half hour, 45 minutes, but trust me, I'm not gonna have this vid going for like the whole time. I'll pop it back on like when this stuff's like ready. So no, I ended up obviously taking a break for a day or so from YT to just kind of help clear my head a little bit and just take a moment, because yeah. I know I'm a bit off to some people, and maybe a little bit crazy too, but I'm very self-aware. And so, you know, I do go back and I watch my vids. And, you know, to some degree, there are reasons, which are obviously, like some of you would obviously pick up on, why some I would just simply unlist or turn private, because it's like, I know I'm weird, and I know I have certain traits of me that I really don't, that are kind of embarrassing and I don't care for. But, no, tonight we're going to make those. And while that's cooking, I'm going to use this stuff. The rolls, the King Hawaiian sweet rolls as the buns, so kind of like a little slider type thing. And then some shoestring french fries. And yeah. And then tomorrow, can't help it, I'm a little excited about something. I ended up getting an early gift, which was really nice. And yeah, one of those big Blackstone griddles. I love cooking on a flat top. I can't help it. I love it. You know, it's so much easier than trying to cook in a skillet and stuff. But yeah, I'm so looking forward to that. I'll have to, right now it just takes the little green propane bottles, but I can get the adapter, the hose, and all that, and for like, right now they're on sale, so it'd be like $21-22, and then I can hook it up to a regular cylinder, 5-gallon cylinder type thing for propane, you know, that way it's, yeah, I'm excited about it, I can't help it. But no, I was supposed to have a viewing here Saturday and didn't. The people supposedly were here but never actually showed. And all that, because they're like, oh, the code's not working. So my realtor's like, oh no, like, ask me what the code is. I was like, it should be that code, but the only other one would be this. And they're like, oh, we're going to have to reschedule that type stuff. It's like, well, if not a fan of the house type thing, that's fine. Again, a lot of them, the size rates are not, yeah. They're all going to be requiring work. If this house was still the way it was when I got it, this would barely, yeah, no. This was not livable. But in due time, hopefully I'll just keep hoping it's going to sell here soon. Because, yeah, there's a lot of things I got to turn around in life, between just the better home and just kind of starting my own type of career type thing. It's just trying to turn everything around. And I want to go back to utilizing the Better Health app. You know, I used that before. I had used that for quite a while and was able to deal with therapy and all that stuff through the Better Help app. And I had a really good therapist, really nice lady. So I've kind of come to that point. I can only do so much on my own. You know, I recognize that, you know, self-help, yeah, most people, they can do it. It can be done. It's just, depending on the subject matter, situational, it can be a little more difficult. And depending on the person, it could be more difficult for one person than the other. And when certain things just start kind of re-triggering or reigniting a lot of, like, old wounds you thought were healed, you know, then you know it was a pretty bad cut. So it's like, you can only do so much depending on the type of wound. It's like, you know, yeah, you know, I jam myself here with the dull side of a knife, like straight stab myself. Yeah, something like that, that type of wounding I could deal with myself. But if it's something like somebody straight just stabs you right in the fucking chest, you know, at some point, you know, in that you can only do so much triage on yourself that you know you're going to need a doctor. You know, so I mean, I feel that applies to a lot of things. You at least need somebody to talk to. And I find, you know, sometimes not having to go to certain people that are more or less going to give a bias to the situation, a bias input versus one that's not only non-biased, obviously, but is doing so from a third perspective versus being somehow linked to it, whether directly or directly in the format of a friend and family type thing. It's sometimes good to have an outside person to talk to. But no, anyways, just sort of chilling out. I'm gonna finally get the projector and everything hooked up tonight because I think I'm gonna sit and watch Black Christmas or whatever that's called on there and watch it on the projector. And because I got pretty much one of my whole living room walls is just a big giant projector screen. So, and I don't expect it to cover that whole thing, but hopefully it, you know, it'll get enough of it. Be like, yeah, I can appreciate this. So, anyways, I will cut this for now, and then when I come back, dinner should be ready. And you won't be hearing me run my laundry in the background either. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll get back to you shortly. Hopefully it'll be good. I know it'll be good. So, yeah. I'll be right back. While I'm sitting here waiting for my chicken to finish cooking in the oven, I've been sitting here getting my projector and stuff connected. And check this out. I'm pretty... Didn't mean to cut it, but yeah. Anyways. Did I push play? Oh, there we go. Obviously gonna wait till it gets a little more darker out, but yeah. Yep. Old school Black Christmas. Good time for a Halloween movie, right? Or a horror movie for Christmas season. I'll be watching that later, and then I've got some Bad Santa. But yeah. Awesome. So I go ahead and bust the chicken out real quick. See how it's doing. Still got like 40 minutes left, but still want to mix it up a little bit in there, you know. Why the hell not? Plus, I'm not really working with frozen chicken, so usually cooks a little quicker, obviously. Let's see how it looks. I gotta stir this shit up, obviously. Again, I keep using that word, sorry. But, check it out. I better not grab a hold of that lid with my bare hand. But yep, splatter, but yep, the barbecue sauce, all that fun stuff. I just gotta get in there, stir this up a bit, and let that, get that chicken start getting it torn up a bit more. But, it'll be ready soon. Be right back.